There's a shot of our control room this morning. The NewsNation team working very hard on this Saturday. The Supreme Court this week upheld a federal law that forbids anyone under a domestic violence-related restraining order from possessing a gun. By an 8-1 vote, the High Court ruled that the law, which aims to protect victims of abuse, does not violate the Second Amendment. The lone dissenter was Justice Clarence Thomas. Meanwhile, former President Trump's legal team back in court this week. They're arguing that special counsel Jack Smith's appointment in the Florida classified document investigation is unlawful. Smith was appointed by Attorney General Merrick Garland in 2020 to oversee the investigation that Trump allegedly retained classified documents after he left office. Trump now faces 40 felony counts in this case. Here with us is federal defense attorney Ronald Chapman. Ronald, good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you, too.
So let's get the overview here. What did we learn on day one of this 3-day hearing?
Well, Judge Cannon appears to be taking this issue very seriously, but does show some skepticism during her questioning of Donald Trump's attorney. What we really have going on here is a question as to whether or not special counsel should be appointed by the Senate or confirmed by the Senate, or whether that is something that the Attorney General can just do on their own. And this has very important implications for the future. This really isn't an issue that has been seen since the Nixon administration. Of course, we saw that Hunter Biden raised the same issue in a different court, but Judge Cannon wants to take a fresh look at all of this and make a fair decision as to whether or not this appointment should have been done by the Senate.
Like I mentioned a moment ago, Trump's team wants this case dismissed. What grounds do they have to do that? Is it because the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith that they're saying is unlawful?
Well, that's it. So every case starts with an indictment, and that indictment is brought by a prosecutor, and that prosecutor needs to have lawful authority in order to sign that indictment and hand that over to the court. That's the jurisdiction that the court has. And in this case, if the appointment is flawed and there should have been an appointment by the Senate, then the indictment should go away. And the impact here is if the court just allows the Attorney General to appoint anybody that they want, we are sort of circumventing the branches of government that should have some oversight over the appointment of these types of officers.
You mentioned Judge Cannon. Just a reminder for our viewers, she was a Trump appointee. She's handling the classified documents case. 2 federal judges reportedly urged her to step down. She refused. Ron, do you think this will impact this case and potentially her ruling moving forward?
Well, there were really 2 reasons that these judges, according to the report, asked her to step down. The first is that her courthouse is not located in Miami, and they don't have a secured, compartmentalized information facility there at the Fort Pierce location, and they thought it might be easier. The second is her handling of the search warrant and the appointment of a special master to handle the discovery there. Both of those reasons are not really strong enough for recusal. Nor is the reason that she was appointed by Trump. If somebody appointed by the incumbent president, or if somebody appointed by a former president has to be recused each time the president that appointed them is bringing a case, we certainly would have half of federal judges, for the most part, recusing themselves, which would be quite comical. So we're not seeing strong enough reasons for that. They're going to have to come up with better arguments.
What do we expect in the next 2 days of hearings?
Well, it seems like a lot was done on Monday. I'm not so sure she's going to need the next few days, but what I can expect is further argument on this motion, perhaps some other straggling issues that need to be dealt with related to discovery. And then I would expect the judge to issue a written ruling sometime after the hearing. People have been concerned about delays. You're going to have to hold on for a little longer. I do not expect Judge Cannon to rule on this issue from the bench.
All right, fair enough. Ronald, let's talk about the New York case. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has asked Judge Merchan to extend Trump's gag order, citing threats have been made against officials connected to this case. Do you think extending a gag order beyond the sentencing, which, by the way, is scheduled for July 11th, would help in any way?
Well, this is quite strange. The purpose of a gag order is to prevent an impact on the administration of justice, to prevent somebody from influencing a jury through public statements. That's the reason these exist. There's absolutely no reason or really precedent for extending gag orders just to protect from statements against officials. The First Amendment absolutely protects Donald Trump and anybody else who wants to criticize the administration of justice as long as it doesn't impact a jury. So I find these arguments quite skeptical. I would be shocked if an appellate court seeing this would determine that there was a lawful authority to issue a gag order that was extended this long.
Ronald Chapman, we always appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.